What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? You know what I'm saying? I'm back with another film review, and this week I'm going to be talking about one of my personal favorites, Logan. It is another superhero movie, but this movie does hold like a special place in my heart. It's like one of the first X-Men or Wolverine movies I watched in general, and it's just, I don't know, I fell in love with it. So, yeah. More specifically, I'm going to be talking about like the cinematography and kind of like the editing in a way. But yeah, I definitely think that the cinematography in the movie definitely holds symbolism, and there are just ways that the person who is behind the camera is using that to tell the story as well as what's being said on screen. So yeah, let's jump in. Oh, okay. So I actually wrote down a few things that I wanted to say about it. The first thing being, I think that this movie has like a dramatic difference in the way that it's like colorized as compared to some of its other X-Men counterparts. Here's an example here. I really think that it's like, I think that it's just really like a way of setting the tone of the story. Like it shows a more bleak, darker side of the X-Men universe, and it's less special effects and all this like grandeur things, but more like grounded and really showing the world through the eyes of Logan at this point in time in his life. He believes that him, Charles, and the other guy they stay in the cave with or in the water tower with is are the only mutants left on Earth. Okay, so yeah, actually, there's another scene where Logan is pretty much in the bedroom and he's failing to pull out his claws, pretty much. I think that this shot, oh, here it is. I think that is pretty like significant because it's showing like the way that they emphasize like the claw and the way that they make the close up of the camera is pretty much emphasizing like his greatest strength, which used to be his mutant powers, are now pretty much becoming his greatest weakness. And I think that that symbolism is really cool. And because in the movie, Logan actually gets like adamantium poisoning, so the metal that's in his body and in his claws that's making him like super strong is pretty much killing him at this point in time. And I think that that's really cool. It's really showing like the parallels para, para, para yeah, between his power. Oh, okay. So next up, I want to talk about this scene where Charles is pretty much laying in bed, looking up at the water tower, the fallen water tower that he's in, where he is called home for the last few months. Here's the scene.
Focus on the pain, the only thing that's real.
I think it's pretty like symbolic because it's at a point in Charles's life where his mind is pretty much decaying, and you can see in the water tower there are lots of holes, but it's still very vast and grandeur because it's just like a big place. Like his mind is very big and vast, but you can see the holes coming through, and I think that's another way that the director is using like, oh, all this space around him. And another shot that I want to take a look at is the house scene between Logan and X-23,
Four.
pretty much his evil clone. And I think that is really symbolic in that he's pretty much X-23, his evil clone, after, doing what he's doing. I don't want to spoil anything. But he comes down the stairs and he pretty much looks Logan in the face. The camera doesn't really move, but it kind of keeps Logan, the real Logan, in a stationary position as X-23, his evil clone, walks around him. And they kind of like look each other in the eye, and I think that's really symbolic as it's like it can be a version of like Logan looking his past self in the face. That's kind of what I saw it as. I think that in a way, like X-23 symbolizes his selfish side, and the new Logan is showing his heroic side. I think between the start of the movie and the end, because during the movie, Logan also meets this little girl. Her name is Laura, I believe. And as he meets her, he becomes like her guardian, and he learns that she was made with his blood and his powers and stuff like that. So I think that is really symbolic, showing the change that he's made over the last movies, and especially in this one, showing that he's less selfish now and wants to be a hero and do what's right for the kid. So yeah, I think that was a pretty powerful scene. But yeah, that's been my movie review. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.